I hope you are doing fine. Uh, I would like to welcome you all to session 2 of Compose Camp. So, before we start the session, I'm going to tell you some basic information that you need to know about this camp. Okay, so first of all, let us know about something about Compose Camp. So, Compose Camp uh, is a community event where we will learn to build Android apps using Jetpack Compose, and attendees will also get hands-on experience. So, what are the benefits of using Jetpack Compose? So, here are listed some benefits. So, we use less code. If anyone has any idea about native Android development using Kotlin, so you may know that we use a lot of XML. We use lot of XML, lot of XML. So compared to that, we use much less code in Jetpack Compose. It is- Jetpack Compose uses declarative UI, like we declare how we want our app to look, and it looks exactly the same. Since the accelerates develop, since since it adapts less code, so it also increases the development speed. You may know, and it is a very powerful tool it is very powerful to design the material design, dark theme, animations, and more. It can do it in seconds. Okay, so is a compose camp similar to Android study jams? If you are familiar with Android study jams, the format is same. Like we are speaking, you are doing hands-on learning, but there's one difference only. The compose camp is based on a fun camp theme. Okay, almost everything is same, but there's a fun camp theme. I hope you are having fun in this session. Okay, so before we start the session, these pathways are very important. So actually, there are 4 units, and these are categorized into three pathways. Each unit is categorized into three pathways. It offers some code labs, some videos, some articles, and everything you need to know about that unit. So once you complete a pathway, you will earn digital badges for each pathway. And once you have completed all the three pathways, uh, that means you have completed the unit, you will earn 3 badges for 1 unit. These badges that you earn by completing your units will be added to your Google developer profile. Okay, so this is there are some prerequisites before starting this camp. You should have basic computer literacy, and also you should have basic math skills. You will learn Kotlin programming basics in this session. You will also learn how to build Android app UIs using Jetpack Compose, and you will also practice modern Android development. Okay, so this is how the bifurcation of each unit is given. Unit 1, Introduction to Kotlin. We have covered it in session 1. We have also set up Android Studio in session 1. Uh, Building a basic layout we will be doing in this session. And there are future units that we will be doing in this session. Okay, so you can see the bifurcation. So this is the link that you will be using to redirect to your pathways. Okay, let me just show you. Uh, this is the link. You will be redirected to this website. Here you have 4 units: Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 4. Like I said, Each unit is divided into three pathways. So these are the three pathways. First is introduction to Kotlin. We have already done that in session 1. Set up Android Studio. Already done that, as I told you. And like this. Once you explore a pathway, there will be multiple articles, videos, code along videos. Sorry. And at the end of each pathway, there will be a quiz. When you take the quiz, you have approximately 10 questions to answer. Uh, based on that, you will based on that you will earn your badges. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So welcome to Compose Camp. We are your camp counselors for today. Uh, my name is Dhruv, and I have my colleague Brijesh Chauhan as the second speaker. In the previous session, like I told you, in the previous session, we covered the very basics of Kotlin. We also covered the overview of Android Studio. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. Any questions, guys, regarding the previous session? You can type in the chat box if you have any questions regarding the previous session. Uh, if you are facing any problem regarding installation of Android Studio or is it something else, you can tell in the chat section. The system is lagging. So, uh, Yashgard, your system is lagging while using Android Studio, so you can also use Kotlin Playground. I will be telling about this in a little bit of time. Okay. So I am assuming that you have no other questions regarding the previous session. So I will be starting with okay. So this is our agenda. We will be creating a birthday card app. Then we will study some more fundamentals in Kotlin like conditionals, nullability. We will be understanding about classes and objects, and we will also be covering function types and lambda expression. Okay. So without wasting any further more time, let's get started with our project, which is a birthday card app. Okay. By this project, we will learn. By this project, we will learn to create a basic layout in Jetpack Compose, and we will also learn how to add our images in our Android app. Okay, so without wasting any further more time, let's get started. So this is my Android, as you can see. Let's zoom this a little bit. Okay, you can see this is the default project. You can also create a new project by hitting File, New, and New Project. This window will show up. Here you have to, you can either choose empty compose activity or this empty compose activity material 3. Okay, so I would recommend you would choose this and hit next. Then you have to select the name of your application. I have selected birthday greeting. You can name it according to your convenience. Rest of the everything is same. Everything will be same, and just when you finish name the application, just hit finish. Okay, so I have already created the project. uh, the project will take some time to be created because we need to sync the gradle file with our project. So I have already done that. This is the sample boilerplate code we will be getting while we create our new project. Okay, so you can wait some time if we want to do hands-on, or yeah, we can start. Okay, so I will be starting by deleting this composable function. Okay, now we are getting errors here because we deleted this definition. So I will be deleting this also. Now to start to start with our app, I would create a new composable function. So this now the emit has completed our function. We just have to name our function. Uh, can you suggest me a name for our function? I would request you to suggest a name for our function. Yes, that the minimum SDK is 5.0 because yeah, the minimum SDK is 5.0 because it is the like you want your app to be supported in maximum devices, maximum Android devices. So that's why it is 5.0. Okay. Birthday card, birthday, yes. I need more responses, please. What should we name our function? So birthday card. Okay. So I will be going with birthday card. Okay. Birthday card. It will take two parameters. One is the message, which is of the string type, and the other is the sender of the message. Okay. So this will also be of the string type, and we would simply use two composables, one to display the message and one to display the name of the sender of the message. So here is one composable, text composable, sorry, and I will write message. Okay, I will use another text composable. I will write from. I can write from. Sorry, I will do that again. Yeah, and I will add this function in the preview. Yeah, so happy birthday. Now I need one more help. I need you to suggest me a name. Who do you want to wish happy birthday with this app? Please tell in the chat section. Okay. Okay. We are getting some suggestions. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So I think Google is a great idea. Okay. So we will be wishing Google. And can you tell me the name of the sender of the message? Like, wow, I guess we have some anime fans here. Okay, Android Studio, AWS, nice. Wow, Sundar Pichai, Amazon. Okay, okay. So, wow, Facebook, nice. So, Twitter, wow. Okay, so, yeah, Narendra Modi. Yeah, why not? Okay, um, Narendra. Okay, let's hit build and refresh. It will generate our output here. Okay, as you can see, this. Uh, yeah. So as you can see, we have added the two text composables, but it is like on top of each other. So to fix this, we will use a column composable. Okay. So before that, I need to remove this and enter column. This is our column composable. Okay. And we will paste the text here. Hit build. The what will show to my need. Okay. Okay. Till the output is being shown, I may tell you how to add images to our project. For firstly, it is not necessary, but I am doing it. I will be creating another composable function. Okay. Can you suggest me a name again? Can you suggest me a name for the function? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. You can see that the output is much better right now. I want you to name this function, please. Card. Okay. Any other suggestions? Birth card. Best wishes. Okay. Best wishes sounds nice. Okay. So we will be creating best wishes. Best wishes. Okay. First of all, I will tell you how to add images to your Compose project. For that, you have to go to View tab, Tool windows, and then you will find Resource Manager here. Okay. Click on that. Oops, I have already added. Uh, Save delete. Okay, I will delete. Yeah. So when you build a new project, you will see this only by default. Okay. So you need to add your image. By the way, you can find your resource manager under the project tab here. You can here is the project tab, and under that you can find your resource manager. Okay, so there's a shortcut also if you want to use. Now to import our image, we will click. First of all, we need an image, so I will be using this link. Okay, yeah, I will be using this link. This is the we want to use. Okay, we can also, yeah, this is the image. We will download it. I have already downloaded it, so I don't need to do it again. But you need to download it. You can download it anywhere. I have down. I have this image in my downloads folder. Yeah, let me download it again. Okay. Yeah. So this is the file name, and I will download it here. The images download, as you can see. Now I will go back to my Android Studio and click on plus. This is the plus icon, and you have to click on import drawables. Okay. Now I would go to my downloads folder, and in the downloads folder I will find Android Party. This is the name of the file. Okay. So then hit OK. Now it asks qualifier type and value. So in the qualifier type, we have to select density, and in the value tab, we have to select no density and hit next. You may ask that why we selected no density. This is because this image we have added in our project will refresh according to different Android devices. Like for example, I am using a Samsung phone, and you are using, let's say, a Google phone. Okay, so it will refresh according to the devices, and it will consume resources that are not needed of. Okay, so it will consume more RAM, something memory. It will consume your memory, so we do not need that. So we are that's why we decided no density. Okay, now just hit import, and your image is imported. Okay, let's just close that. We do not need that. And now I will be adding image to my Android app. Okay, so for that I will be using the image composable. It has two arguments, painter and content description. So I will be explaining these. So painter, like we need to show our image in our app. Okay, we need to show our image in our app. So like we need to paint it in our app. So we will here this painter. So we will be using painter resource. And in the previous session, we have also told that there is an R class which is generated by default with the project. Okay, so here I select drawables dot, and here I find my image Android Party 2. Okay, so I will select this. Now content description. So there are many people who use Google Talkback service. Like you may have an idea that how Google Talkback service works. You just simply give a command like open WhatsApp, and it will open WhatsApp. It will read your messages. It will show the unread chats. It will do everything for you. But this is a wallpaper. We do not need any description for it. Okay. So I will set it to null, and let's hit build and refresh. But wait a minute, I need to do this first. So I will do this, and I will add my best wishes. Yeah. I will hit build and refresh again. Yeah, so here is our image. As you can see, can you see this image? Yeah. Are you able to see this image we have in the output? Okay, okay. Now that we have added our image, there is one problem. It does not look like a mobile screen, does it? It does not look like a mobile screen. So I will be using the modifiers property. Yeah. So I will be using the modifier property, modifier dot fill max size, and I will also set the content scale to content scale dot crop. What this will do is, with the modifier property, you all have studied this in the previous session, fill max size. It will fill the entire mobile screen with this image, and the content scale dot crop will show the important part. Like it is important to have this in our work, have this cake in our app. Otherwise, it's just the background. Okay, so it will automatically fix this, and when I hit build and refresh, you will see the changes yourself. Okay, while the output is being, yeah, it is already shown. You can see this is our mobile screen and this is how our app looks now currently. Okay, now I need to add the text over here. Okay, so why don't I just use my birthday card function to do so? So I will be using birthday card. It is asking for a message and from sender. We have done it here, but we need to do it here too. And we need to customize the message. So it will take the same two parameters. Okay, message, which is of the string type, and from, which is of the string type. Now we will do it here, message and from, like this. And we need to do it here too. So I will just write this function again. So it will come with the parameters. Message is happy birthday Google, and this is from RPM Narendra Modi, and I will hit build and refresh. Okay. Let's just wait. Let's just wait a few seconds before. Yeah. Wow. Here's the output. You can see that. Okay. Uh, do you think we need some formatting, because I think the text is not visible? So I will be. Wait a minute. Uh, I will format the text now. Mm, I will use the modifier property. Wait a minute. Yeah, yeah. I will modifier property, modifier dot fill max width. Okay. Yeah, we can also use. Yeah, we will use fill max width. Okay, and we will also wrap content size. Here we will align our text, alignment, alignment. Wait a minute. Yeah. Alignment dot start. Wait a minute. Yeah, start. This is showing some errors. Let me do this again. Alignment dot start. Why is this showing this errors? Okay. Uh, let's see the problem. Wait a minute. Align, alignment, alignment dot start. We will fix this in a few minutes time. Wait a minute. Let me remove this. Yeah, we will use padding. Uh, padding. We will give start, and we will give it 16.dp. Oh, sorry, dp. Yeah, and on top we will again give 16.dp. Is there any error showing up? Oh, yeah, we have fixed it. Yeah, we have given padding alignment. Align, alignment, alignment, but okay, it is not showing us the result. Font size we can increase. We will increase the font size to 36. It is this like this. See, this SP is showing error because there is a package we need to import for that. Okay. Now that we have included the package, and see the error has gone. And now if we hit build and refresh, you will see this message as a big message. Okay. Yeah. You can see happy birthday Google. Let me zoom it a little bit. Yeah. Uh, is this visible? Same, we will do it here. We will set the font size. Font size we will set to 24.sp, and we will use the modifier property. Modifier dot uh, lmax width, lmax width dot app content size. Wait a minute, I have done something wrong. App content width we have to use here. Align, alignment dot end. Okay, yeah, this is showing correct. Let me try this here also. Yeah, wrap. content with align, align. Mm, let's just wait for a few minute time till the app is loading, and then we can see the out. Yeah, can you see the output we have here? Yeah, happy birthday Google from Narendra Modi. Can you see the output? Is there any doubt? Yes. Okay. So this is it, or we have to do something else also? Yeah. We can also, if we have this image value, as we have this image value, and we can also store it in a different variable like val image is equal to this. Okay, and here we just simply pass image. There will be no effect on the output, but this is just a better way since if you want to change your image, or you can do something else with this variable. So this is a better practice actually. See, there is no effect on the output, and this is our birthday app completed. Is there any problem? We have completed our birthday app project now. So is there any problem? Any doubts you have? Changing font style. Okay, we can also do that, but where it is? Yeah, here it is. Font style, like we you can control and click here. Okay, so control and click here to see what parameters it accepts, like modifier, color. Okay, this is the text composable. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can change the font style also, but what's the need? Can we add a GIF using? Yeah, you can add a GIF user instead of image. And changing position. If you want to change position in your project, you can just use this. You can just change the alignment, like I say alignment dot center horizontally. This is better. Okay. Now if I say alignment dot center horizontally, uh, it is building. Yeah. Sorry. Can you see that the app has this Happy Birthday Google has centered horizontally? So, if you like, see from this side, change alignment bottom and change alignment bottom. Yeah, you can also do that. Check dot end is this top, and we have a yeah. This is bottom. Okay, I will click this. It is throwing error for some reason. So we will stick to the our old start. Yeah. Okay. So I am assuming that you have no other doubts. If you have, please type in the chat section. No doubt. Okay. No doubt. No doubt. Okay. Okay. That's great if you have no doubt. Uh, okay. Shall we move further? Uh, let's close this. And now we will learn about conditionals in Kotlin. Uh, it is just like we always encounter multiple events in our life. Like, for example, let's say, yeah, is the weather cold? Like it is raining today, you want to go out and play with your friends. Uh, if it is raining, I'm not considering this an example, guys. If it is raining, you need to wear a raincoat. If it is not, then you are perfectly fine. You can go out and play with your friends. Okay, but we need to consider the conditions. Same will we will be doing here in Kotlin. Okay, so we will be expressing, we will be using these conditionals to express conditions. Okay, you can also refer to this example, like is the weather cold? If the weather is cold, we have to wear a jacket. If not, we don't have to wear a jacket. Okay, so it is like this only. So let us take an example. Okay, let me just go to play.kotlinland.org. Yeah, this is the website you will be using. This is also called Kotlin Playground. Okay, I will just type this in the chat section. Okay. Yeah, this is the link to the Kotlin Playground. You can click on this link and a window like this will be opened in your browser. Okay, we will understand the conditionals here only. So let's consider your age is, uh, let's say your age is 15. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, and we want to check whether you are eligible to vote in the next election or not. Okay, suppose that elections are coming in this week, in the coming week, or the next month. Okay, so we will use the if keyword to express the condition. We will use the if keyword. Then we will enter our condition. If age is less than 18. Okay. So if age is less than 18, that simply means that you are not eligible to vote. Same we want to print in our log. Okay. So we will use print line and then we will print you are not eligible to vote. Okay. Uh, let's run this. Yeah, you are not eligible to vote. So we have our age 15 and we are comparing, like you consider 15 is less than 18. So the condition is true. And if the condition is true, we have a statement here in the log. Okay. So you can see this is the basic syntax of if statement. You have the if keyword, then the condition in a parenthesis. Okay. These brackets parenthesis, and then inside curly braces, you need to include the body. I have done this here also. Yeah. The if keyword, uh, condition inside of parenthesis, then curly braces, and inside the curly braces we have our body. Okay. Now, if we have two conditions, we will use the else keyword. We have an else branch here. So if condition body 1, else body 2. Okay, we do not write conditions in else. You may have studied this while you were doing C or C++ or any other language in first year also. Okay, so we just add an else branch. We have two conditions, but let us take this example only. Okay, but what if else print line, you are eligible to vote. Now let's understand the flow of this program. Okay, we have initialized our age variable with 15, and we are checking if 15 is less than 18. Okay, then you have to print you are not eligible to vote. If by any chance 50, I will increase this to 19. Okay, 19 is not less than 18, you know. So it will go to the else condition where it will print you are eligible to vote. Let's run this, and you are eligible to vote. Congrats, everyone. Okay, we have now studied about what if we have two conditions, but we can have multiple conditions. We may have three conditions, four conditions, five conditions, as many as you want. Okay, for that we have else if keyword. Okay, so the else if the statement syntax of else if statement is also same as if statement, but just you have to keep this else if keyword, condition in the parenthesis, curly braces, and then inside the curly braces you have to print your body. Okay, let's go to Kotlin playground. Okay, now mm, let's take another example further. Okay, val traffic light equals to, let's say, black. Let's say green. Okay, now we will check if traffic light equals to red, then we will print stop. Okay, uh, else if the color of the traffic light, the color of the traffic light, wait a minute, let me just correct it. Yeah, if the color of the traffic light is equal to yellow, or I say green, let's check for green only. Okay, I need to convert this into a string. Then we will print. Then we will print go. In any other case, in any other case, we will print line invalid light color. Okay. Uh, yeah. You can see the code. Can you guess the output of this code? Can anyone guess the output of this code? Yes, Brajesh Bhaiya is right. You can also use the readline function to take input from user. Okay. Can anyone guess the output of this code? Please volunteer. Go. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So everyone who has answered go is correct. We will get go. Why go? Because the condition in the else if statement is true. If by chance, by any chance, the condition in the else if statement is also false, like we change the color to black. Now what will be the output? Invalid color. Yes. Okay. So Shazim is right. The output will be invalid light color. Okay. So this is the else if branch. As like I have added only one else if statement here. You can add as many as you want. Okay. It will not affect anything. Okay. You can add as many as you want, but you need to take care of a few things, which I'm going to talk about right now. Okay. We can use as many as else statements as we want. Okay. But this is not a very practical approach. When we build production level apps, we need to write multiple conditionals like 50 or 100 or 1000 or as many, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, we write multiple conditionals. Okay. So we cannot use the else if keyword everywhere because we need to take care of space as well as time complexity. You may have heard these terms in your second year syllabus or maybe in the first year also. Okay. Yeah. Tell me if you have heard these terms. Have you heard about space and time complexity? Yes. So Yash Garg is saying yes. Okay. Shahzim is also saying yes. Yeah. Ashutosh is saying a lot. Okay. So we have to take care of space and as well as time complexity. So it is not a practical approach to use else if keyword a lot of times. Okay. So this is where the when keyword comes and plays its part. Okay. So this is the basic syntax of a when statement. We use when parameter and we can pass the conditions in a sequential order and the body corresponding to that. We use to relate this, we use a arrow function like this. Okay. Let's go to Kotlin playground and yeah. So my traffic color light is black. Okay. Now I need to check. I will use the when keyword. Then I will write the parameter. I will use traffic light. Then I can write my conditions in sequential order. Okay. So I will be using if the traffic light color is red. So I will use 29. I will say stop. If the color light is yellow, I will say ready. If it is green, I will say go. If by any chance if it is not yet red, not yellow, not green, then we can include an else case here. Okay, else, wait a minute, yeah, else it will print invalid color. Okay, now I want you people to guess the output of this program. It is a very basic program. You can easily guess the output of this program. Okay, so I want you to guess it. Invalid color. Shazim is saying invalid color. Okay. Vinayak is also saying invalid. Uh, guys, I want you to volunteer in this session. Yeah. Yash is also saying invalid color. Harsh is, yeah. So you people are correct. The output will be invalid color. Same if I change the color to something, say orange, same it will say invalid color. But if I say green, it will say go. Okay. Uh, your when statement. Acha. You guys have studied about switch case in C or C++. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You have studied. Nice. So you can consider the when statement as similar as to the switch statement. You can include multiple conditions, then you have multiple bodies according to it, and that's it. You will get the output corresponding to the condition. Okay. So this is done with the, now we are done with the when statement. Okay. We have used if else as statements. Okay. But sometimes we need to store that message. Yeah, like I have used the if condition. I have to store this body one, yeah, body two in a variable. Okay. So for that purpose, can use if statement, if else expressions. Sorry, if else statements. We can use as expressions also. Okay. So this is the very basic syntax. We have a variable type. Whether we have a constant or variable, we have a constant, constant's name. We have initialized with an if else condition. Let's go to Kotlin playground to see the result. Okay, so this is the Kotlin playground, and I simply just val message equal to, so everything will be the same, and then I will say the Kotlin compiler to print message, and oh, message, yeah, go. Since the color is green and the condition is matching, so we have go as our output. Okay. Uh, any doubts, guys? No. Okay. Harsh Pathak is saying no. Himanshi Gautam is also saying no. Okay. 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 So that's it from my side. Now I will hand over the platform to Brijesh, and he will explain the further topics to you. Okay. So Brijesh, you can now. Uh,
Hello folks, so far we have learned a lot of things in the Kotlin. Now next we are going to learn something about Kotlin and the object. In the classes and the object, the first question arises, What are the classes and the objects, and why do we want to use them? So, to understand this, we have to assume a scenario. Let's assume you have a car and you want that your car has to be serviced. Now, can anyone tell what are the steps or what steps you will take? For me, first of all, I give my car to the mechanic. After that, mechanic will use a lot of things to repair my car or service my car. After servicing, he will return my car back to me. So in this scenario, what are the real entities? Real entities like me, my car, and mechanic, mechanic, and mechanic use a lot of things. All are real entities. And what is the problem here? Problem is to service your car. So what they are trying to do, they are trying to do that they are using a set of real entities to solve your problem. This similar concept applies to the in the case of the programming. We use a set of objects to solve our problem. Okay. So real world entities are known as objects. And to create object, we need a blueprint for that. And blueprint simply means that we need class. And class simply means blueprint for the object. Or class define the what type of object it can produce. So let's do a hands-on on how to create a class. So I'm requesting all of you to open the new tab and search for the Kotlin playground. And this one is a site, play.kotlin.org. Let's open it. Okay, let's clear the code. Now to create a class means you are creating a blueprint for an object. All you have to write the class keyword. After that, you have to provide the name of the class. Here, one thing has to be remembered, that the name should be in the Pascal case. Now, what does this mean, Pascal case? It simply means that every first alphabet of every word should be in the capital letter, and it doesn't contain any space. For example, let me create a class for the smart devices. Smart devices. Here you can see, guys, the S and D are capital letters. That's it. It is the case of the after the name you have to provide the constructor. To provide constructor, you have simply write the parentheses. Now, what does constructor means? Constructor. Sometimes you have to provide some default value to your object. In that case, constructor is used. So let me create there two parameters. First is name, which is of string type, and second one is model, which is also of string type. Now it's up to us. It's completely optional if you want to provide the parameters in the constructor or not. It's all up to us. After that, you have to provide the parent curly braces, and in the curly braces you can write whatever you want. In the case of class, we have three things: the constructor, methods, and the properties. We have already discussed about the constructor. Now let's talk about the properties. What are properties? Uh, Properties are nothing but the attributes of an object of a class. Attribute simply means that I'm creating the smart device. Let's assume that there is a smart TV. So there can be a volume. It is an attribute of that object. Here's a screen. There is a screen. It is also an attribute. There is a picture. There is also an attribute. So these are the attributes which define the characteristics of an object of a class. So let's create volume, which is of integer type, and let's give it the value 0. Now, is it the same as a variable? No, simply uh, they are not the same things. You can do a lot of things with the properties. We have the methods like setter and the getter. The getter method is used if we want to access our property. Then the getter method is called by default. And if we want to set our volume, then the setter method is called. Okay, let's create getter. Create the getter. You have to write the get keyword. After that, two parentheses and curly braces. In the getter and the setter, you have the special variable which is called field, which is a reference to the which is a reference to our variable. In the getter variable, I want to okay, to understand this, let's create another example. So let me create the device type here. The is of its string type. Let's find the type. And let me provide this smart. Now I want to do something with this variable when I try to access it. In the getter property, I have to write that return. As I have already told you that we have a special field called the field variable. Field dot uppercase. Now let's also write the setter function. In the setter function, you have to provide the value that you want, whatever you want to set. Let me write value. After that, I want to set this value to my field. So let's write field here. Let I have to set the value. Yes. Now we have seen about the properties. Now next thing come into picture is method. What are the methods? Anyone heard about the function in the procedural programming? Anyone? What are the functions? Yes. Okay. So in the case of procedural programming, we call them functions or a piece of code. But in the case of classes and the object, we call them methods. Means methods and functions are same. But in the case of class or object and the object, we call them methods. To write a method, simply you have to create a function, and you know how to create a function. To create a function, first of all, you have to write the fun keyword. After that, you have to give your function name. Anyone wants to say something? Okay, no. Okay. Let me give the function name. Power on. Switch on. Switch on. And I am here printing just simply switched on, device switched on. Similarly, we are also creating another function which is for switch off. Switch off. Now, till now we have created the blueprint. Now it's time to create an object for this class. To create an object for this class, first let's go to our main function. And in main function, you have to write the val keyword. Val keyword, and in the after the val keyword, you have to give the name of your object. Here I am giving the smart TV. Smart TV is equals to. After that, you have to provide the class name here. My class name is smart devices, so let's write it here. Devices. And as I have already told you that we have to provide, we have declared some the default parameters, so we have to give some default values to them. Let me write TV, and after that, let me provide the model number. Let's say X60. Okay. Now let's create another object of that class. We can create a number of objects of the same class. So let's create a new smart devices. Sorry, smart assistant. Smart assistant is equal to smart devices. Now here we have to provide the name of that smart assistant. Here Google Assistant. After that, in the model, let's provide 0, or we can say 1. Okay. Now we have successfully created the instance or the object of that class. Now let's access it. To access it, let me print ln. And to access the object, first of all, you have to write the object name. Let me write the smart TV. Smart TV. Dot. After that, you have to write the dot operator, and after that, you can access the property methods that you want to access. Here, I want to access the volume property. Volume. So, can you guys tell me what will be the output? What will be the output of this code? Okay, no one. So let's try it out. Okay, here we have set. Okay, as I have already told that val is a type of immutable. We are trying here to set our value to an immutable variable. That's why we are getting error. So guys, you all have to take care of this thing. So we have to declare there where. Okay, we are getting 0 because we are accessing this property, volume property of the smart device. Now let's call the method. To call a method, simply let me write the print ln, and or if we can simply call the smart device. We have object of smart TV. After that, we can access the method that we want to access. So here I want to access the switch on. Switch on method. So let's execute this. Here we are getting the switched on. So here we have accessed the property of that object, and here we are accessing the method of that object. Okay. And what if we want to access the device type? Let's try to access this. Print ln and smart TV. Okay. Now let's try to access device type. Can you imagine that? What will be the output? Anyone? Guys, if you have any problem regarding this or any topic, or if you're not getting the things, then you can simply write in the chat box. We are accessing the device type here. This one, this variable. Then what we will get in output? Smart. Shah Azim Ahmad given the right answer. It is smart. Okay. Let's write it out. It will the answer is smart, but it is in the capital letters. Why it is in the capital letters? Because we are accessing this variable, and while accessing by default, this getter function will be called, and in the getter function is doing an action which is of doing our string in the uppercase. So that's why we are getting this in the uppercase. Okay. So let's summarize it. First of all, we have created a blueprint for our object, and after that, we have created the instance or the objects of our class. After creating objects, we are accessing its properties, its methods. That's it. Now let's come back to our PPT. Before coming there, let me show you the basic syntax of this. To define a class, this is the syntax as we have already discussed. How to create the instance, you have to write the val keyword. After that, you have to give the name there, and after the is equals to, you have to give the class name and then parentheses. After that, how to access the method, as we have already discussed. Class properties, method and method function constructor, we have already talked. Okay, syntax of construction. And the one thing is more that we have two types of constructor in our Kotlin: the primary constructor and the secondary constructor. Okay, before nullability, let me show you something. Okay, in the class, you can apply the restrictions, or you can provide the access level where it can be accessed or not. Suppose I have declared a class here. Now this class can be accessed anywhere. So Kotlin provides us visibility modifiers. We have four type of visibility modifiers in the Kotlin, which are public, after that protected, so private, after that protected, and after that internal. In the public, sorry, the class can be accessed anywhere, and in case of private, the declaration, class declaration, and methods can be accessed only inside the class. And in case of protected, the declaration can be only accessed in the subclass of that class. And in case of internal, the declaration can be only accessed in the same module. But now question arises where how do we declare private and protected? To declare a class private or protected, you have to write before the class keyword whether it is private or protected. Let me create a private. This is how you can declare any class public, private, and protected or internal. Okay. Now let's come back to our proper PPT. And so we are using the classes and objects simply means we are using the OOPS concept. And OOPS concept is based on the four main pillars, which are abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance. So what does they means? As we have already discussed, we will. So abstraction means we are hiding the things. It means simply it focus on what to do, not how to do. Suppose, for example, if you, this implementation can be hidden to another programmer because I can declare this class private, or we can use abstraction. We can implement the abstraction with the help of the interfaces. Next, what is encapsulation? Encapsulation means we are encapsulating our related things into a single module. Means we are wrapping up our declaration, methods, functions, data, whatever, in a single module. And after that, polymorphism. As the name suggests, poly means many, and the morphism means many shapes. It means any function and method classes can exist in any shape or can take in any shape. Suppose I'm here. At the same time, I can be a student, I can be a brother, I can be a friend, and I can be an employee. That's all about the polymorphism. Next term comes into picture. What is inheritance? Inheritance, it is the capability of a class to inherit some properties or characteristics from its parent class. Suppose you have some characteristics from your father and your grandfather. The similar thing is also applies to in the case of the programming. The subclass can hold the properties or the characteristics of its parent class. Okay, let's move to our another topic, nullability. Now, what is nullability in the Kotlin? To understand the nullability, let's understand with the help of an example. Suppose I want to create an account on the Google, and Google given me a form which contain too many fields like the first name, last name, or my email ID, phone number, and in the last there's a gender field. Now, what will happen if it is an optional field, and what will happen if it is a mandatory field? If gender is a mandatory field, then I have to provide whether it is male or female. In my case, I will already provide. I will obviously provide the male, but in the case of programming for the gender variable, it can assume only two things: male or female. Let's understand with the help of syntax. Let me create the gender variable of the string type. String. Okay. Now, this gender variable can only assume the male or female field. And suppose this is an optional field, then what will happen? Means we are getting null here. If we don't want to attach, or if we don't want to assign a value in a starting or at the time of declaration, then that variable can be assumed null. But if we try to give this if we try to assign the null to this gender variable, then we will get an error because it is of not nullable data type, that it can only assume male and female. It cannot assume null values. In the case of if we want to assign the null value, we have to change the data type. So we have to convert this into the nullable type. And to convert it into the nullable type, you simply have to write the question mark after the data type. This question mark tells the compiler that this gender variable is of nullable data type. Now we can assign the null value here. And this function can assume male and female or null also. Nullability simply means that we can assign any value to the function and even null values also. Now the question arises that how we would access it and how we would use it. In the traditional programming and in the traditional languages, we have, if we want to access the null variable, we have to first of all check whether the variable is null or not. If the variable is null, then we would not perform any action. Otherwise, we would get an error which is a null pointer exception error. It is a common error in all the languages. Let's take an example. If you want to access the gender, first of all, we have to check the gender is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, then we will print ln, and we are writing here gender. And if it is null, then we are going to print, then it's an optional statement, or the gender is not selected. Gender is not selected. Let's run it out. Here we will get the gender is not selected because it is a null variable and we are checking. That's it. And but Kotlin is an advanced language. Kotlin, we don't need to check this every time. Kotlin already take care of this, and Kotlin given us two special type of operators, which are use safe call operator and the safe call operator and the not null asserted operator. What does safe call operator means? Let's check, understand with the help of the program. Suppose I have to access the gender field with this in the Kotlin. Now in the Kotlin, I don't need to write this. I can simply write something like that. Print ln, and here I can write the gender. Now I want that it whatever gender I provide, it should be in the uppercase. So let me write the uppercase. Before writing the uppercase, I have to use the your safe call operator. The safe call operator nothing means you have to write the question mark, and after that you have to use the dot. Now you can access whatever or perform any action on it on the gender variable. I want to perform the uppercase. Now, guys, can you tell me what will be the output here? Anyone? Okay, let's try it out. We are getting null. Let's comment out this for a while. We are getting null. And suppose if we are having the value male. Now, what will be the output? We are getting male. How? That it can as male, female, or null. And in this case, we have assigned the value male. Now it is not null. And in this case, this not use safe access operator will check whether the gender is null or not. If it is null, then it will not execute the further functions or methods. And if it is null, then it will not execute this one. And in this case, it is the gender field is gender variable is not null, then it is executing the uppercase method. And if it is a null, then it will give in the lowercase. Lowercase. Why in the lowercase? Because it is checking whether the gender is null or not. In this case, it is null. Then it is not executing this function. That's why we are getting the null in the lowercase. Now the second operator the Kotlin that has given us to us is not null asserted. Not null asserted simply means this is a safe call operator and this is the not null asserted. We are talking about this not null asserted. As the name suggests, not null asserted means we are asserting something that it is not null. If it is null, then we want to throw an error. Yeah. Let's execute this. If it is male and in the gender, it is the output is male in the capital letters. Simply means we are accessing the gender and we are performing the uppercase on this gender variable. And we are asserting that it is not null. In this case, it is not null, we are true. We are getting the output. But what will happen if we assign this null value? Can you tell me, guys? Exactly. Shah, sorry, Shah Azim Ahmad given the right answer. Sorry, it's not a right answer. We will get the null pointer exception because the main difference is that between these two operators. In this case, if it is null, it will ignore and it will not further execute. And in the case of not null asserted, we will throw an error if it is null. That's the main difference. So in this case, we are getting the null pointer exception. And what if we want that in the final output that we don't want any null, we want any value or a default value. In that case, Kotlin also had given us special operator which is called Elvis operator. Elvis operator is used to give default values in the case of null. Let me assume another variable called gender2, and I'm declaring the data type which is of string type. Okay. Now it cannot assume the null value, and let assign the gender here. It is of nullable type data type, and it is not nullable data type. Now we can't assign directly to that variable. In this case, we want, if we have gender, male or female, then it should gender 2 should contain male or female. Otherwise, we want our default value. So to provide the default value, we have to use the Elvis operator. To write the Elvis operator, you have to write simply the question mark. After that, you have to give the colon. Okay. After the colon, you can provide the whatever default value you have to provide. Let me provide here not available. Okay. And try to print the gender too. Now we are getting the null because we have the gender field which is null, and in this case the operator first of all check whether the gender is null or not. If it is null, then it is providing the default value, or it is adding the gender default value to this gender 2 variable. And if it is not null, then it will provide the whatever value gender contain. Suppose it will contain male. Male. Now we are getting the male. That's it. So that's all about the nullability in the Kotlin. We have already talked about the not null asserted operator, and after that uh, we have also talked about the Elvis operator. Now let's go to our another topic, which is function type and lambda expression. Can anyone tell what is lambda expression? Have you heard about it? Okay, no. Yashgar said no. Okay, Shahaz Azamat Ahmed says no. Okay, no problem. Okay. The lambda expressions are nothing but the anonymous function. They are the shorter version of a function. Let's assume, let's do with the help, understand with the help of program. There's too much restriction on the function, on the normal function. And suppose I have a function which is of ABC. Function ABC, and I am printing this println. Println. Hi. My motive is that I want to assign this ABC function to another variable. Is this possible? Let's check it out. Well, A is equals to ABC. In this, to assign this, we have to use the function reference operator. Function reference. This is the function reference operator. But if we run this, we will get an error that A is not accessed. Here, you can see variable A is not used. We can't assign our function to a variable. But in the case of lambda, we can do that. So let's modify our function. Let's write it ABC. Let's define the data type. It will take an input. Type it, take some input, and it will not return nothing. If we don't want to return anything from a function, we can write the data type unit. After let's write parentheses. the curly braces. And the curly braces, as we are taking the input with the data type int. So let's write it here. Now let's print out this int ln, and I am printing here the x. And now let's try this. Now can anyone tell is this work or throw an error? If I try, will this work or it will throw an error? Okay, let's check it out. Sorry, we have doesn't provided any value. If we provide this here, there's a magic, guys, that you can see that it is executing. Why it is executing? Because we have defined the lambda expression here, and in the lambda expression we have assigned that lambda expression to another variable. And what will happen, guys, if I want to access with the name ABC? Can you tell me, guys, it will work or not if I will call this call function with the name ABC? In the previous case, I have called with the name of variable A5. Now I want to call with the name ABC. Shahaz Ahmed said that answer will be 10. And yes, Garg said no. But we can. We can do that. Shah Azam Ahmed said the right answer. We can do here. We are getting 10. The 5 will be from this function call, and the 10 is coming from this function call. Okay. So that's all about the lambda expressions. Mainly lambda expression is used in the case of higher order functions. Higher order function means if we want to assign, or if we want to um, if you want to return or to give an function as a parameter to an another function. That case, it is a case of higher order function. And we will also talk about another higher order function, okay, which is of repeat. We'll also talk. It is a higher order function. We'll also talk about this. Before talking on the repeat function, I want to know about that. Have you heard about the for loop in the Kotlin or in any languages? What does for loop do? What does for loop do? Iterations. Isha Kapoor said iterations, and Shah Azim Ahmed said run until the condition satisfy. Both are the right answers. For loop is used to iterate items. For example, if I want to iterate I in range 0 to 6, and let's wrap it out in the parenthesis. After that, curly braces, int ln I from for loop. For loop. Okay. Guys, what will be the output there? Here, simply, we will get 1 to 6 from for loop. Let's run it out. Here, we are getting 1 from the for loop, 2 from the for loop, 2, 6 from for loop. Now, if I say that we can also implement this for loop or we can also implement this iteration with simple and concise way. Kotlin already has given us a function which is known as repeat function. Repeat function give us a way to define or iterate an element or a piece of code in a simple and concise way. So let's check it out. To write a repeat function, you have to simply write the repeat keyword. Repeat keyword. After that, you have to provide the number of iterations in the parentheses. Suppose I want to repeat my code 10 times. Let me give 10 here. After that, you have to write the curly braces. In the after the curly braces, whatever the code you want to repeat or execute a number of times, you can write. Suppose I am I want to write the print ln dollar here. I want to access the iteration. To access the iteration, let in the lambda expression, I can simply write I in this arrow. Now I can access this variable I. This I is the iteration, and from repeat. Repeat function. Okay. Let's try it out. Before try, I want to ask you what will happen. It's not false. Okay. But in the repeat function, we have provided just the 10 iterations here. We doesn't provide the conditions. Aisha the repeating statement, Asta Dikshit repeating condition, Shah Azim Ahmad said from repeat function 10 times, 1 to 10 will repeat, 1 to 10 will print. Aisha Yadav, okay. Tarus Chaudhary said repeated function, Asta Dikshit it will print that till 10 times. Yash Garg 1 to 10 will print. Awesome guys, all the answers are correct. Let's try it out once. Okay. This thing we are getting from the for loop, and these things are getting from the repeat functions. So that's all about today's session. But before ending the today's session, I want to give you a task that you have to go to the Code Labs. And here Code Labs, we have 4 units. The first session is already covered. In this session, we have unit 2. Now you have to go to the Explore. And here we have the pathways. Guys, you have to complete these pathways. And these pathways contain the step-by-step solution of every problem, or step-by-step explanation. What are nullability, how to code, how to make apps. And in the last, there is an interesting quiz also. If you complete all this, then you will get such type of badges. These badges will collect in your profile, and after this all this pathway, you will get an certificate with the Android Basic with the Compose can. So guys, you all have, I am requesting you to all should try this. And after try, you have to upload your project, or you have to show your project on the GitHub, on the LinkedIn with some tags. We will provide the tag in the our WhatsApp group, so you don't need to care about the tags. You can copy those tags from a WhatsApp group. Okay guys, thank you.